The Humboldt Broncos were on their way to a playoff game when tragedy struck. It is a ritual so many across the country in small towns and cities can relate to. Long road trips, the local hockey team can often be a symbol of community spirit, a gathering place, and it's no wonder this pain has cut so deeply. There is a story behind every member of that Humboldt team, those who survived and those who did not. Our senior correspondent Susan Ormiston has some of their stories tonight.
Inside the Royal University Hospital, survivors are just beginning their long journey to recovery, as are the families holding it together. Michelle Strechnitsky's 19-year-old son, Ryan, has just emerged from 6 hours of surgery on his spine.
He knows he has a wealth of support, so I'm sure that he will draw on all of it.
He was playing his first season for the Broncos, but the accident has changed his path possibly forever.
Better than average chance that he won't play hockey again, or possibly even walk, we're not sure. But he's strong, so I wouldn't count him out.
Michelle and her family got a call Friday night like so many others. It was bad.
He himself actually told me today that he didn't think he was going to make it. The crash was so devastating. The boys were lying on the pavement just waiting for the first responders, and he couldn't move, so he didn't know what to do. He just waited.
His parents waited too for hours before the call from another player's dad.
He was in tears. He was just devastated. And he told us that he didn't know very much, but Ryan was okay. Ryan was alive. That's what we knew.
Today, hockey veteran Sheldon Kennedy visited Ryan and others in hospital. Kennedy and these former teammates survived a team bus accident 30 years ago near Swift Current. Peter Soberlak still remembers.
It's ultimately, I think, getting to a point of acceptance and trying to move forward. But that's a long road. It's a very long road.
All day, hockey families arrived in Saskatoon, including former Broncos players, remembering their coach, Darcy Hogan, who died.
Darcy, the head coach and GM there, we were close, and I had a lot of respect for that man, and we had a little handshake there at the end.
I'm so sorry.
And he just said how proud he was of me. And
these three young men, Xavier Labelle, Logan Hunter, and Adam Harold, were billeted with Renee Cannon's family. She told us quietly she lost all three.
When I heard there was an accident, I just believed the bus had slid into the ditch. So I tried to reach all of my boys. I called them all to see if they could tell me the details, if they were fine. It just seemed like that was as big as I could imagine it.
Labelle, just 19 from Saskatoon, spent 2 seasons billeting at the Cannon House while playing for Humboldt. He had other talents too, posting his recitals on YouTube. Going forward, there will be unanswerable questions from those who lived and saw so many die. But there have been blessings too.
I want to thank everybody so much for everything. It's overwhelming and remarkable. We can't say enough. Thank you.
The tragedy so universally shared has touched so many.
And Susan is here with us in Humboldt, but clearly you spent much of the day in Saskatoon. The Prime Minister in the arena this evening, but he met with some of the survivors.
He did. He didn't speak here tonight, but he did meet with the guy we just introduced you to, Ryan, who had back surgery yesterday, Ian. And the Prime Minister, we have a picture of him meeting with Ryan in his hotel room, talking to him about hockey, we understand. We believe that he made a tour of the hospital. The University Hospital is being very quiet, very private about all these experiences that's going on inside those walls, all the drama and recovery.
Let's talk some more about other survivors.
Well, we believe there's 8 still in hospital, Ian, some of them still in critical condition, and we are hearing a lot about some and very little about others, like Danya Bronze, who was mentioned here tonight. She is the physical therapist for the Bronco team, and she was also on that bus and is injured and was in critical condition earlier today, so people are wondering how she is.
Yeah, a lot of people have been very careful to guard the privacy of the families involved. We are being very careful about talking to those families, but are slowly learning about both survivors and those who have passed. Tell me what you saw in terms of the mood, particularly in Saskatoon.
Well, I'm from Saskatoon, and so going to that airport this morning was heartbreaking. Everybody who got off planes from Western Canada, even from Toronto, many of them had connections to this tragedy. You know, you spoke about this community, the Bronco family. Well, it's a hockey family, and that hockey family stretches across the country. And when you dig down deep, everybody has a connection. You know, we spoke to one man who was involved in that Swift Current accident years ago. Well, his daughter was the chief trauma surgeon at the hospital on Friday night. So these generations of connections, it's an amazing spirit, lots of grief and lots of difficult days to come in. But this hockey family, sporting families, parents, they do feel supported here. It's very, very impressive and very comforting to everybody here.
A lot of teams across the country take buses to lots of games, but there's something quintessentially Canadian about Saskatchewan junior hockey and long bus rides, for sure.
The prairies, really. Because remember, you know, about 10 of those players were from Alberta originally, so it's right across the prairies tonight.
All right, Susan, thank you very much.
Welcome.